then it set up then a proper pathway for every stakeholder in the country as to how then you can curb the incidence of gender-based violence and femicide. And it's got 2 articles, and then these are the ones, it's got 19, but I have just extrapolated 2 because I found them to be very relevant for this. Then it says that first article, it says that political, government, business and community leadership must take responsibility to support the cause of eradicating GBV from our country. And now if you get to article 2, then it says that political, government, business, community leadership and families must be held accountable. So what it means is that without us focusing on families and making families accountable for anything that deals with, so as to make them to know that your actions and your omissions as a member of the family are contributing to our country experiencing this trauma that comes from gender-based violence and femicide. So what it says is that all of us in the country, we must take the responsibility as individuals. And a person living in the country is not focusing on only citizens. It says that a person living in South Africa take the responsibility to end gender-based violence and femicide, and you are accountable. If you can take me to the next slide. So this is what it says here. It says that be accountable. This is the call that is made by the Presidential Summit Declaration, that be accountable and be a change agent in your small corner. So you don't say that what is the Department of Justice, what our courts are doing, and so on. And you need as an individual to be the change agent if you are serious about making a difference in this area in our country. Can you take me to the next slide? So this is then, we see then in 2021 global campaign introduced by UN that says that hashtag choose to challenge. So this theme then is in line with our Presidential Summit Declaration, which already says to us that we need then to be the change agents. So we have this global campaign in 2021 that says that everyone, as a woman, you need then to make a decision and say that I choose to challenge. So I need to choose to challenge a gender disparity. I choose to challenge a patriarchy from my home setting, from my family setup. I need to choose to challenge the way that I raise my children and my boy child, my girl child. I need to choose to challenge then sexual harassment from my home, from my work environment. So it's us then as an individual making a decision that I need to be involved. If you can take me to the next slide. And the reason for that is because law alone cannot deal with this. If you can take me to the next slide, please. So what it means is, if we unpack the choose to challenge a campaign and also our Presidential Summit Declaration that says that we must take responsibility as an individual to end gender-based violence. So what it means is that I need to choose to challenge, to self-correct, to be involved. I need to choose to challenge gender disparity and sexual harassment. I need to choose to challenge and act against patriarchy and instill gender parity in parenting and also at my workplace. I need then to rehabilitate and maintain good family values. I need to be the champion for gender-based violence, a free society. I need to be a role model. And for us as women, we need to have this and say that I'm joining the sisterhood, you know, against gender-based violence and be the agent of change. If you can take me to the next slide. So this is the legal framework that we have in our country. I'm not going to get into it, all right, because I want to get to the three famous GBV bills that are before Parliament, so as to see as to how are they navigating and promoting the spirit of accountability at individual level, because this is what we need to do as a country. If you can take me to the next slide. All right, so we have been as women, now I'm speaking as a woman because I'm a gender activist, as women we have been saying there's no political will, but that conversation is a conversation of the past, because now we saw our president rising up and having that summit then, and also signing the presidential summit declaration in March 2019, and that then we had the cabinet then approving the national strategic plan on GBVF, and that was in March 2020. And then the cabinet also established the Interministerial Committee on GBVF, which is chaired by the Minister of Women, Youth, Persons and Disabilities. So there is political will right now. So we need then, as women, to utilize this time and ensure that our voices are heard, but our voices will only be heard when we choose to challenge. If you can take me to the next slide. So these are the pillars then, all right, these are the pillars of the NSP, and for DBE, you are already involved in pillar 1, all right, and you are also involved in pillar 2, which deals with prevention and rebuilding a social cohesion, and you are also involved in pillar 3, and I'm chairing pillar 3, and pillar 3 we already have a representative there, and also then in also other structures that I'm chairing, like you are also participating in the DG, is called the DGISC, Intersectoral Committee on Child Justice, and also the one that is managing the sexual offences and the implementation of the Criminal Law, Sexual Offences and Related Matters Amendment Act. And in those two pieces of legislation, you are reporting, your minister reports every year to Parliament, so which is something that is quite, we are quite excited about your participation in those. So, but then allow me then to talk about accountability, all right? Because this is what, when I was seeing this, then I said that, let me talk about accountability. As I said that, it is key for me. If we want to stop GBVF everywhere, as I said, that it starts from the family, all right? And then it permeates into the workplace. But if we are serious about stopping it, we need to be accountable as individuals. And we need then to engage in interventions that are looking into prevention. So let's get then to the next slide. They are with the select committee, so it's the domestic violence amendment bill and but I'm going to be talking about them as individual and just focusing on the elements of accountability, because as I said that they are magnifying article when we are looking into amending them as required by the presidential summit declaration. Then we decided then to magnify the elements and the principles of accountability. All right, if you can take me to the next slide. And I will be focusing on ones then that are dealing with DBE, so that you see yourself then going to be stopping. This is the principal. So we have